Hello, hello. Welcome back. While we wait, because everyone else, the other two guests we're going to have on the show today are coming in a little later, and just a bit of housekeeping while we wait for them to come on. So this show happens every week on a Monday at 9:45 p.m. IST, which equates to about 11 to I think 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. I'm not quite sure of the other time zones, but we do this live every week between um, between 12:30 to 1:30 if you're on the East Coast, or between 10:30 to 11 or 9 anywhere between 9:30 to 11:30. If you're in the Indian subcontinent, I have clearly messed up my time zones. I do not know my time difference as well. I apologize. But we, like I said, we do this live, and then this show will live on Spotify, Google, Apple Podcasts as an audio only file. So if you're listening to this on audio at some point of time in time during the week, and you'd like to be involved in a more interactive session, you come join us on the live. You can follow us on our socials. There will be handles and links to all of them in the description below the episode, and we can just yeah. So if you want a more interactive experience, we kind of engage more with the viewers, take questions, and generally overall try to be nice people amidst this shitstorm of a world that we currently find ourselves in. So just a little bit of um, an update as to what and how this show will perform. So this show will go live immediately after as a podcast after we're done recording, and it's free to consume during the week. We split the entire thing up into reviews and previews. We'll do a review now. We'll do a preview later on during the week, and we'll probably like put a dedicated FPL section as well. But that will purely be on the YouTube channel. That will not be as a podcast because I sit and edit this, and I have a day job, and it takes up a lot of time. So that's just had to get that out of the way. Let's crack on with this week's episode. And what an episode we have! Football's back. Football is indeed back. Now, there are several places to start. I feel we should kind of look at the other fixtures before we address the big elephant in the room. And the big elephant in the room, by which I mean, is the United result that happened yesterday, Sunday, when Brighton came to town to play them on the opening fixture of their schedule. There are a lot of questions there. I kind of want to address all of those things, and rightly timed, Tushar is in. Hello, good sir. I was
What's
just
up?
introduced.
What's up? From like
So,
no streams to 3 streams in 5 days. Like, what are we doing?
what is, yeah, I know, right? Like, we're committed. Season is back, so are we. We're trying to like keep things moving. And generally, there seems to be a better appetite in terms of people consuming content. Like some of the videos we've done are not great numbers, but significantly better than the single digit views we used to get like some 6 months ago. So, uh, I mean, football is back. The Premier League is back. Still, same old shit shows are unfolding. Where do we start this week's episode, bro? Also, for those of you, like I mentioned this at the start of the episode, we're doing this live today. You don't get to see Tushar's beautiful face, even if you are on video. So you're not really missing out on much. Just my beautiful face.
Yes, I have unfortunately washed my hair. So,
Oh, damn. And you're denying the world of that sight?
yeah, that's only for
Vice.
private eyes. So.
Really? So, you drop your link to your OnlyFans, and we'll subscribe
Sure, sure, one day.
one day. Well, we're all heading there anyway. Uh, but yeah, good place to start, my good. So I think Sid will be joining us in some time. He's just wrapping up with his own thing. So you'll might, so if you're on audio, you'll just hear him pop up randomly, and I'll say the words "Hey Sid," and then you will know he's here. But where does one begin, my friend? Like, what do you want to address? I know that the topic of this video is why United will fail Ten Hag,
So
and
that's
I can
Yeah,
hear myself.
sorry, I switched it on just
No
to
worries.
see, just to check the link.
Hmm.
I mean, we can just go through the fixtures.
We
The
could
the
do
rest,
that.
like we could finish everything but Chelsea, United, Liverpool, and City. So all the other
Hmm.
fixtures, get them out of the way first.
We could probably start off with that. So I think we should start off the episode. Usually we make fun of Arsenal, and
Yeah.
but they kicked off the Premier League season, so I think it's only right that we talk about their performance at the start of the weekend. Now Arsenal looked really good in their opening fixture.
I'm
It
just
was
really pissed off
scary.
with Jesus.
Why, bro? Because he didn't like.
He actually played well. Actually, he played
Uh-huh.
well. But his one miss made like show that I didn't get any points at FPL. Not the
You know,
Odegaard points, not the Jesus points, nothing.
yeah.
I was
So
just really pissed off about that.
yeah, it's funny because 100,000 FPL managers um
Jesus in a
have
mill.
not transferred him out. Priyanka in the chat says, "Hello, hey Priyanka, how are you?" Um, so okay, for those of you watching this live, please hit like and subscribe. More housekeeping work done. But anyway, back to Arsenal Palace. Now, um, I know both of us had Jesus. I have since transferred him out because of this monster that popped up yesterday, and I realized I had to get him in the squad before he price jumped. But if you were to look at Arsenal as a whole, they looked ready for the start of the season. And a lot of Arsenal fans have been saying this, that for the first time in 6 to 7 years, opening day fixture,
They have hope.
Arsenal don't look out of sorts. Yeah, they have hope. For for a good chunk of that first half, they battered Crystal Palace, and I think Crystal Palace kind of started imposing themselves on the game during the second half, and then it just became like Arsenal had to hold on and grind it out, which they did. Kept a clean sheet. Aaron Ramsdale, owners on FPL, rejoice. I think he's one of very few keepers this week to have held kept a clean sheet.
Mhm.
So Arsenal look very good. They look like they're in contention for the top four places. I would, if I mean, it's possible knee jerk reaction at this point, but they're I'd say so far. I'd go so far as to say that they're nailed on for a top four finish.
Yeah, I also believe that. I think they're doing well. If you watch All or Nothing, it's also like hilarious.
It's quite damn
And
funny.
yeah, it's Arteta and his easel, dude. And I was just like, hey, you can't spell art without Arteta.
No, but I can't believe they like the studio and the club looked at his diagrams and said, "Okay, we're going to green light this to be in the
Yeah,
documentary."
did you see the one about the Liverpool game?
Oh yeah, I did. Oh, that was
He draws a
hilarious.
heart and he's like, guys, you have to play with heart. and then like then he goes and he squiggles all and up down the board and all, and then he's like, but you also have to play with brain. Okay. What is this? Are they playing Pictionary every day or something? Like, what is this? Yeah.
Uh, no, but I assume that's the one thing that probably might undermine them as the season progresses because it couldn't have been timed worse. Like Arsenal are on this high right now, and maybe like the Aubameyang's and the Aubameyang decision and the general collapse late in the latter half of the season might bring some unwanted banter at a time when they probably won't need it. But let's see. I'm very
I mean,
uh,
Arsenal comedy is its own like separate industry, only AFTV and all.
of
So
course I feel like yeah I know I think United and Arsenal are two extremely, if you want to create comedic pieces, are extremely
Yeah,
monetizable at the moment. And I think
yeah.
we'll
Meme
get
clubs,
to meme
extreme.
clubs exactly.
Yeah,
Extreme meme clubs, once great clubs who are now struggling to get a foothold in when it comes to Premier League superiority are being taken to the cleaners. But I think Arsenal are doing a much better job. Arteta has got the team playing well. I think he's got his players in. They have spent the most in the window. It's something we mentioned in previous episodes. And yeah, it is like I'm excited to see how and where they progress during the season. Now that was the first fixture of the week, and then we ended up at Craven Cottage against Fulham taking on Liverpool. Now this is a fixture I watched in person a few years ago, and I remember there being a penalty that James Milner scored in the dying minutes to make it 2-1, and Liverpool went away with 3 points. It was nothing like that this time around. This time around, it was a lesson in bullying from Fulham, because Fulham looked up for it. They actually were out Liverpooling Liverpool for big chunks of that game.
yeah. It's amazing, dude. It's like a David and Goliath situation, and Mitrovic was clearly the David here, and he took on BBD the Goliath, and
Oh
how,
yeah,
dude?
he was. Yeah, he
Like
was
five turn
spinning.
and 20 and
He was
just
spinning Van Dijk left, right. He was
he's been
bullying
everybody. He's
Trent.
taking on four players at a time, dude, and going through them like as if they're like they're
Not
not
even
there,
there.
they're not existing.
Yeah.
Like it was amazing to watch. I said in the last stream that dude Mitrovic is going to be a shit like PL striker in championship.
Hmm.
Uh, but this is a classic Mitrovic thing uh,
Yeah.
that he'll start off great, then he'll go and get a red card somewhere, then he'll lose momentum, then he'll fade out.
Yeah. Then he'll fade out, and then
Yeah.
by the time he
But
comes back, Fulham are in a full blown relegation battle.
but I'm really hoping he doesn't because he's such a joy to watch. Like he's like I was just like, dude, like that Trimurti that Liverpool have of the Salah. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
This guy's doing it by himself, dude, against that whole team.
It's him, and and I think even Andreas Pereira was looking great, and a lot of the United fans on Twitter was like, somebody must have told him that preseason is still going on,
Yeah,
because for those of for those of you who don't know, the United fan base has lovingly called Andres Pereira the preseason Pirlo, because he looks like this world class midfielder in preseason, and then as soon as the season kicks off, he regresses into this weird version of himself. And then we only see like his good form during preseason, but he was really good for Fulham. I think generally it helps if you have a manager who is giving you proper tactical instructions to follow. And he was all over the place, like pressing Liverpool in midfield, running after their centre backs. And for all of Liverpool's faults, right, they somehow ultimately ended up coming away with the point, because they should have lost that game. They weren't very good.
yeah,
Like Mitrovic bullying Trent at the back post. Everyone blames Trent, but Trent just gets flat-footed, and then even if he jumped in the air, it would have been contested. But I don't. There's still only one winner there. Mitrovic is a tank.
yeah. I have a feeling he'll probably make his World Cup team, right? Or is he in the World Cup? I don't know.
Yeah, no, of course. He is Serbian, isn't he?
Yeah, Serbian. I don't know if they made it.
I don't know if they made it this year. I'm not quite sure. But if they're going,
Serbia didn't make it. He's
Oh,
Serbian,
Serbia didn't
isn't
make
he?
it.
yeah.
Yeah, he's Serbian. Yeah,
Yes, Serbia didn't make it. Serbia didn't
that's
make
kind of yeah. So Sid's here. For those of you on the in the audio, Sid is here. Long-awaited return. So,
it. But I'm not gonna watch. I'm not gonna watch Premier League until United win a game. Seriously.
but how will you know if you don't see them win a game?
I mean, after they win a game, I'll start watching.
I see. So we'll get to United. I mean, I'm saving a big chunk of this episode for United. I just want to get rid of all of the other fixtures before that. Bournemouth beat Villa. Now Steven Gerrard has the same win percentage at Aston Villa as Gary Neville had at Valencia.
Yeah, to be fair, I think he's really messing it up. I think he said something against Mings,
Yeah, he said when
and
he looks me in the eye and he's ready to play,
yeah,
then he will play.
and
I
you've got to know Mings is like the fan favorite for the last 3 years,
Yeah,
and now the whole fan base is turning against him, and they're all calling for his head already, and the season just started. I'm just like, dude, give it some time.
way to
But I,
go.
I don't know, like he doesn't look tactically that great. He looks like another Lampard, honestly.
Yeah, they both Lampard and they both have identical records also, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
So
dude.
so it's kind of insane. Uh, I don't know. I think
I
they got outdone.
feel like all these managers should at least manage maybe 2 3 years in maybe League One or Championship before they step up to the Premier League. I mean, just because you're good players doesn't mean you're.
Agreed.
Let me rephrase that. Just because you're great players doesn't mean that you'll make great managers, right? Not
To be
Yeah,
fair,
everybody
he
is
I,
did a
Zinedine
decent job
Zidane.
at Rangers, but it's
hmm.
just that the Rangers were the best in that league or second best, and he motivated them.
See,
And
they were the
yeah,
second best in the league. He took them to the best in the league. Okay,
Yeah, and he made
that's
them
uh,
invincible, wasn't he? Wasn't he?
yeah,
yeah,
invincible.
they were invincible. Yes,
Hmm. So I
but
don't know.
like,
So I think
dude, see, Premier League is a different beast when you compare any other league in the world, right? Like, you you have to be. I won't say tactically astute, but you need to know what you're doing.
yeah, even
Yeah,
Pep struggled in that first season, right? If you look at Pep in the for 2016, where he ended up with 66
but
points, came fourth.
yeah, but I disagree with that because I felt like that
Dude,
in that
he came fourth by the skin of his teeth.
I know goal difference. He came fourth.
dude, that season
Yeah,
Bravo was just he was just
Yeah,
horrible. Okay, Bravo had a horrible season, but Pep had set up his team for the next year, and then next year he got 100 points, dude. So
yeah, dude.
like
Like that.
he really
No,
stuck it to the or the
critics.
pundits and stuff who were like, oh, he's this beautiful Pep who had great teams always. Now
No,
he
but
can't.
if you notice that season, like I think his wing backs were Clichy and Sanya, and as soon as the season
yeah.
ended,
As soon as the
they
season ended, the first two positions he addressed were
yeah,
the wing
he
backs.
terminated their contracts, and I think he had so he they brought Edison in for the next year. They brought Mendy in, but like even we
And
keep saying they
Walker.
spent when Mendy and Walker. Mendy was
Yeah.
great for the first 3 games, and then he got injured, and then Fabian Delph deputized there at left back. But he got the players that inverted wing backs he needed. He got them. I
Yeah,
think he got Leroy Sane that year or the year prior. I think no, Sane was there
No, the
the
year
season they
after.
finished.
The year
No, no, the
after.
year before. The year I think he was there. He's one of Pep's early signings. No, was he not?
No, I think he was not there in the 16th season. He was there in the 17th. The 100-point season, he was there.
Yeah, for that I know that he was there for that as well. And then he just took off like one of the greatest Premier League teams I've ever seen. Like they just demolished teams.
yeah, agreed.
So
Do you think
hmm.
Mane? Do you, I don't know. My gut feeling is I still feel Mane was the linchpin of the front three of Liverpool. Let's see. I mean, maybe I'll be
I
wrong
fully
in
agree.
a few
I
weeks'
fully
time.
agree.
But
Yeah. In 2 weeks' time, when United come to visit where Liverpool come to Old Trafford, I don't
I'm
think we
so
should be
glad we're
watching.
playing. You know what? I'm so glad we're playing like so early this season. That way we won't, hopefully, won't lose 5-0 because Liverpool still looks sort of undercooked.
We're going to lose 7-0, not 5-0, but we'll get to that. uh,
We'll
the
probably
way they
lose like
played.
3-0.
Yeah, you have hope. Now we'll we'll get to those guys in a bit. But Villa look like they're in trouble, dude. They look out of sorts.
Yeah,
and
they really
so,
do. Yeah,
and Gerrard is that like game week 1 of the Premier League. He's already in the sack race. Leeds put up an impressive display against Wolves. I watched the highlights for this game. They went down initially, I think, to a Podence goal, and then Aronson and Rodrigo brought them back into the game. Saw it out. Winning start for Jesse Marsh's team. Newcastle won thunderbolt from Fabian Schär. I think he scored the same goal twice from the exact same spot.
Yeah.
Absolute thunderbolt that was. And if he's fit and England don't take him to the World Cup, it's a big mistake because this man sniffs goals out of nothing. Callum Wilson, like, dude, my FPL week was shit. I was below the average, all of that, but I had Callum Wilson in my team because I know that you have life, death, taxes, and Callum Wilson scoring on the opening fixture of the Premier League weekend as constants in your life. So,
But you know what? Like I feel like Callum Wilson should go ahead of Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
I
If he's
fully
fit,
agree.
obviously.
I fully agree. I feel they're going to shove Dominic Calvert-Lewin in because he's Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but he's going to be unfit by the time the World Cup rolls around. Or rather, he'll be just regaining match fitness. Much rather take a Callum Wilson and go.
Yeah, I mean they're both pretty good with their head. If that's what they're really looking for, like to plonk another striker when you need a goal.
Yeah.
And I think they're the same height, aren't they? Or what? Calvert-Lewin is like
I know.
an
I
inch
think
taller than
Wilson
him.
is less. Yeah, I mean, Wilson is, I think, slightly shorter than him. I think no, this guy is a giant of a man, dude. DCL. Wilson, I think, is
Yeah, but
about
he's not. I mean, the thing is, DCL is also pretty tall, dude. He's like 6, I think.
No,
And
DCL is taller than 6 feet. I think.
DCL is 6'2" or something like that.
Yeah, and Wilson is probably about 6 feet or something. I mean, very different striker. I would say Callum Wilson is much more. I mean, he relies more on like getting in behind defenses. I think so does DCL, but DCL can also play that target man role as and when needed. So it's going to be interesting to see how what Southgate does and what team he ends up taking to Qatar. But we'll move on from Newcastle because there's a very strong chance that they finish above Man United this season. Bruno Guimaraes is better than all three United midfielders put together. So God knows what's going to happen there. Now, the next game that took place was, as expressions on his vlog called it, Spurs versus Southampton. And guys, I don't know about you, but I'm sensing title charge.
I don't think title charge.
Listen, it's week 1, guys. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
I was looking.
The only constant. The only constant is death taxes and Pep winning the league.
Yeah,
Pep winning the league for sure, but Pep has notoriously struggled against Antonio Conte in the past. When Conte has this team, like even last season, like Conte beat him what?
maybe in a cup, dude. Maybe like
Not
Conte
even in a
can
cup.
win a cup.
Yeah, Conte could win a cup. I don't think that's out of the question.
But I don't think he has the firepower in that team to win a league.
So they scored 4 goals yesterday, and none of them were Kane or Son.
They scored 4 goals without Kane getting on Kane or Son getting on the score sheet. So
there's firepower there.
There is firepower there. It's just a question of I think they'll run out of steam come April.
Yeah, because they will. Because he basically kills his team, dude, every year. Huh?
Yeah, he kills his team.
I know, but it's
the Champions League. I think they make it to the knockouts. Let's be realistic. They make it to the knockouts.
I don't think they make it to the knockouts. This guy notoriously doesn't get past the group stage.
And once January, I think they make it to the knockouts. I mean, especially if they're dealt an easy hand, I think they make it to the knockouts in a breeze. And then after that, once January rolls in, they'll probably be in 4 competitions at the time. They probably make the League Cup semis or something like that, and they'll be in 4 competitions. By March, April, they'll just run out of steam.
I think the big factor for them, their title charge, is the World Cup.
Squad depth.
World Cup, more than anything else. Because if you look at
a lot of the English team is a lot of actually. Yeah.
If you look at Liverpool and Man City, Salah's not going to the World Cup. Neither is Haaland.
That's it. But the rest of the Liverpool squad is going to the World Cup. Thiago is going. Bobby is going. Luis Diaz is going. Nunes is going. Hendo probably goes. I
think Hendo looks like he's on the down low at this point. I mean, I looked at Liverpool.
Okay, forget Hendo. Fabio goes. Fabinho goes. Van Dijk goes. their keeper
Yeah,
goes, both their
yeah,
wing backs go.
yeah.
So Liverpool is
So
just
you,
one player who's not going to go. So,
but it's the key player. It
but
is like Mohamed Salah.
yeah, but then again, look, let's give it another few games, right?
Yeah,
Before we
even
say
Trent's going.
before
Yeah,
we.
that's right. Yeah.
But with Spurs, there's probably just like 5 or 6 players are going to go, like Son, Kane,
Mm-hmm. Kulusevski.
Kulusevski.
Sweden didn't make it, did they?
Sweden did
I'm
they?
not. If Sweden made it, he'll go. Richarlison will go.
Richarlison goes.
Sanchez, Perisic
I
will
don't know
go
if the
because
Brazilian
Croatia.
goes. I don't know what's his name?
Emerson and Lucas.
Emerson Lucas. Yeah, do they go both of them?
I don't know. I think Lucas will go. I don't think. I know. I don't think Emerson or Lucas go.
Yeah, that's the thing. So they'll have like 5 or 6 players go. The keeper will go, obviously.
Of course, yeah.
Um,
Eric Dyer will
the
go.
right Eric Dyer goes. Who's the right back?
Right back
Right
is
back.
going to be Emerson, right? Left back will be
Yeah.
Perisic.
So Perisic goes. That's a
Of
given.
course, given, yeah.
Wings doesn't go. Wings doesn't go.
Wings, I think they're selling. So they're trying to sell Wings. They're trying to sell Reguilon, and they're trying to sell Lo Celso and Ndombele. That's the wonderful thing about Conte. He came in and said, "Yeah, these are the dudes that are not it. Bye." And you know, he says that it's a miracle
Bro, I
with
feel like ETH also said it is.
yeah. The thing is, ETH also said it, but somehow the Spurs board and back and C-suite are more competent than the United backs board and C-suite.
I think they're scared of
Back
Conte,
room.
dude. Like Don Conte is someone you don't mess with. You just
Yeah, I
say
mean,
yes, do.
I mean, they probably realize that if they sort of mess with him, that's their last hope of a title.
yeah, it really is. I
I
mean,
feel he's their last hope for a title. Any
I
title. I'm not saying Premier League. He's whether it's a cup or
There
whatever
is
it
no
is.
other manager, dude.
yeah. Who else do they go to? They'll have to go back to like a Potter or
What?
something, if at all. They'll go to Graham Potter in a few years. That's the only other that's the only move that's worth doing at this point.
Yeah.
Those, who do you think, like genuine question, who do you think they can possibly get who's better than Conte at this moment?
Nobody, dude. I don't think they can
Nobody.
get anybody better than Conte.
Exactly. So he is their last hope for a title. So they listen to
Yeah.
anything and everything he says.
This season they listen. Next season he'll implode. Then everyone will implode.
Yeah.
Everything
Which
will
is
go to
this
shit.
this season is their best chance at a title chance.
Yeah, this is
That's
their
what
best
I'd say.
chance. Yeah.
So I am not quite sure if they can handle anymore.
I also
In
believe this
Arsenal,
is the last season. Harry Kane stays in Spurs. That's my gut feeling.
I think as long as Conte is there, he's there. And
Where will
then
Kane go?
United,
Bayern
because
Munich.
Ronaldo contract runs
No.
out, no?
Bayern Munich.
Only
I would
United.
give it to you in writing. Bayern Munich have already started their sniffing game. He'll go either next year or the year after. They'll sell him for a cut price deal for like some 60-65 million, and Bayern will take him. He'll go win the title there if he doesn't win it here.
I guess.
Bayern need a number 9. They don't have a number 9. They have Mane, who's very good, but they don't have that Lewandowski replacement.
Did you
Yeah,
hear
just
about this
Kane's-
thing? Speaking of number 9s, that Chelsea is considering not giving another forward the number 9 shirt.
Yeah, and nobody wants it, right? That's the thing. It's
It's
not even like
Spurs,
considering it.
They're selling Timo Werner back to Leipzig.
For 20 million euros. That is a cut price deal and a half.
I mean, this is our thing, right? We're like the gap year for students, that is like gap year for strikers. They'll come and then 2 years later we'll sell them back to the same club at half price.
That's as good a segue as we could possibly get to discussing Chelsea.
Dude,
Now,
Chelsea game was worse than watching paint dry. In fact, if I had sniffed paint, maybe I would have liked it. Like, it was just so boring, dude, to watch. Like, and we won 1-0 because of a Jorginho penalty, and I was just like, Am I in the 2019 season or the 20 season or the 22 season? Or is it just the same season that just continues on and on and on? Like, what is happening?
Uh, I don't.
Yeah.
I tried watching it. I gave up halfway. I was like, guys, come on. And then, uh,
Those thoughts on Chelsea for the season after that game.
I don't know. Like, if we get our shit together, then we can still make top four somehow, I think.
So you're
But
saying top four is the best that Chelsea can do this season?
yeah,
they don't
no,
have
there's
they
no
don't have an attack, dude. I mean, as much as
point
Chelsea are
attack.
great, yeah,
Yeah, Havertz is not it. Havertz is not it. Also, he keeps playing him out of position, and the thing
there
is,
is a apparently there are rumors that people are falling out with Tuchel because as great of a tactician that he is, he's just not a people manager. And
they keep calling it Tuchaliban, right? And they keep
yeah,
putting
exactly, yeah.
Osama's face, right? Tuchel's face on Osama, like Tuchaliban will prevail. And I'm like, guys, Osama was Al Qaeda. Get your like terrorist groups right.
Yeah, thanks, bro. Now we're all on some registry somewhere. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Try flying into the US. We're all going to be there. All going to be like, oh yeah, what happened? What did you say? Excuse me, what? Mm, mm.
I'm not repeating that. Yeah.
But
But yeah, like
eh,
he's the thing is we can't play like a 3-4-3, dude. Because that would make like Jorginho a DM, which he's not. He's as much as I like the guy, he's not a
what
proper
is
DM.
Jorginho, dude? He's like, is he a number six? He's a
He's
register,
just
right?
like a pivot, dude. Like, and
Mm.
even like Kante, even though he's great, he's box to box, but he's not a proper CDM where you just make him sit there. So
Like
so
you don't have a Matic
we
Bro,
type
need
to
a
complement
Declan
Kante.
Rice,
I
dude.
feel
We just need a Declan Rice.
I
That's
feel
the
I feel like this whole CDM, the role itself is like losing its sheen.
Yo, shut
uh,
up! Don't say that. Have you seen our squad? What are you talking about?
I mean, dude, you tell me, like post Matic, Fernandinho, and
Rodri,
I'm talking Rodri, proper CDMs, proper CDMs. Who's
Rodri,
been a good CDM?
Busquets. Rodri
Bro,
is great, dude. Rodri is
Busquets is a CM. He's not a CDM. Like
he's
somebody who
bro.
just break down the play. Okay, fine. Okay, I'll put Busquets in that category. Apart from them, can you name any good CDMs? Like most of them are
Declan
A
central
Rice.
box
midfielders,
are either central midfielders or box to boxes who
box
basically
to box.
dictate play.
Exactly.
So there's no sole destructor, is what you're trying to say. I think if anything,
Yeah,
even
exactly.
Kante was like that dude. He would
Kante
like
was next to
break up.
Matic, by the way.
Yeah, which is why when
Yeah,
Conte won the title, you had Matic and Conte running things in midfield,
yeah.
But they were
and
very box to box CMs, not exactly.
Bro, Matic never stepped out. If you go
yeah,
back and
Matic would
watch it,
because Matic would dictate from deep, and
yeah,
and then Conte would be the destroyer, and then you'd have the wing backs bombing forward. Marcus Alonso, who is going to Barcelona. Oh, by the way, talk about Barcelona as well at some point, and their little shit show again. So
but so
that
that's what I'm
that
saying. Like,
But
I
basically,
know they
everyone's out of position and no one's playing well. Like Havertz is not it, and I don't know why he's not playing Hudson Odoi instead of Ziyech, and like so many things. I'm just like, what are you doing, Tushar? Like, what is your strategy here? Like, I'm not getting it.
So Cosmo in the chat actually puts out a very interesting fact. He says, "I might come out bad for Chelsea fans, but Tuchel is becoming third season Mourinho. I don't think it's third season Mourinho. I think it's a growing pain situation that's unfolding here because Todd Bowley is trying to do things his way, and his way is like every time he goes after a transfer, Barcelona say, "Hey, we'll offer you less money. Will you sign for us?" And the player miraculously seems to be saying yes. And it's just that now, given the Lukaku situation last year, I don't think he's getting the players he wants. I think right now
No,
they're
I
doing the
think the
Glazers.
players he's getting are not working out, dude. Like
No,
in
even
the last
Sterling for that matter.
decade, he had two good strikers, Costa and Drogba. That's it.
Yeah.
Everybody else has been shit. Like whether it's like Torres or Higuain or Morata, or, I don't know that
I,
Lukaku, Werner. Like everyone's been just absolutely shit for us.
I don't expect great things from Raheem Sterling either there in Chelsea. Like I
See,
really don't. Because I
actually,
feel
last game, I mean the
Mhm.
game,
Everton.
it's just that the team was shit that I felt like made Sterling look shit.
Hmm.
He didn't have enough support. He didn't have enough service. He didn't have. There's a lot of things that maybe they will fix eventually, but he's not the main striker, dude. He's not your main guy. Like you need a main striker and he can support.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like he needs that. See, the thing is, Sterling operates in space, and I feel the wing backs and the wing back system at Chelsea is very good because last season when it was good, it was suffocatingly good. I honestly thought if it weren't for that injury to Ben Chilwell, they would have mounted a much more serious title charge. And if Lukaku's form hadn't dropped off a cliff, they would have mounted a serious title charge. But I think the signing of Mark Cucurella is good because he also I think he looked good as well against Everton.
he was good. He was good actually.
Yeah.
He looked pretty solid. But we still
But
need another CB because there
yeah.
is only Cucurella, Silva, and then the
Hmm.
next is Ampadu, dude. Like, what is that? Like, we need another
Ethan,
CB.
what happened to Koulibaly? Is he injured? He came off, no?
Yeah, I think he's injured. Like, or I don't know what.
Chelsea
But he,
plays Spurs next. I mean, it's a fixture that they've historically been excellent at, but I don't know what
no, I
this
think in this one, if we come away even with a draw, I
it's
will be
credible,
happy.
is it?
I will be happy, dude. Like,
No. But yeah, we'll save that for the preview, which we'll do before the game week this week. Now, Leicester took on Brentford on Sunday. This was the next day of fixtures. There were three fixtures. Um, and they were 2-0 up, and all us ward owners were very happy. And then they conceded two goals. And Leicester are the only team in the top 7 leagues that have not signed a player this season. They're having some. I'm not quite sure about the details um, um, uh, on their FFP situation, other than, but they are not signing anyone, and I don't think, and they're desperately trying to keep on to the players that they have. They sold Kasper Schmeichel to Nice for some reason. I'm still yet to understand the reasoning behind that. Yuri Tielemans are trying to tie down into a contract. They're fending off interest for James Maddison from Newcastle. I think Chelsea have submitted a 70 million bid for Fofana, and they've rejected that as well.
yeah, they're just really trying to hold on to like Fofana and all these other players. But I'm sure at some price they'll have to sell. I don't think they're
Yeah.
a club who can hold on.
So I mean they're in a bit of a mire.
Yeah.
So what we'll do, moving on from Leicester, what we'll do is we'll quickly talk about West Ham, Man City, and we'll talk about Erling Haaland, the arrival of Erling Haaland, and how scary City actually look.
The crazy thing about that game is Wham played actually very well, especially up till the first 30 minutes.
Mhm.
They played really well, actually. Like I really liked how they were playing. They were trying to split Man City up,
Mhm.
and then that penalty happened, and then forced them to change tactics.
Yeah. We have a we have a pod
Yes,
featuring the baby.
yeah.
Just trying to put her to sleep.
Yeah, it's okay. So for those of you on audio and don't have kids, this is
That's basically every other team in the league right now, dude.
yeah, every other team.
Other than Man City.
Very true. I'm looking at Haaland, and the f- the first goal. Okay, I mean he wins the
The
penalty,
penalty,
but
right?
Yeah. The second goal and the acceleration for the second one
Dude, that's insane.
is that it's the
Dude,
ball from
it,
Kevin De Bruyne.
yeah, like it should be physically impossible for a guy that big to
To
run
have that
that
much
fast
accel.
and actual rate. Like just physically, it doesn't look right. Like it doesn't look right when he runs that fast. But it's just pure. Like it was like a FIFA goal. It's pure pace abuse.
Yeah.
And like KDB, dude, perfectly weighted ball. He touched the ball when he had to take the shot. That's it. Like he didn't
Yeah,
have to
like
do anything else.
it was the moment he broke, I was like, oh yeah, this is going in. You just looked at his body shape. You looked at, like, I kid you not, the moment that goal hit the back of the net, I opened up FPL and took a -8. I was just, I saw it and I
Forget
said, oh,
FPL, dude. I was like, that's all, dude. This whole season is KDB to Haaland. Wrap up the league. Fuck it. We're done. Like, leave it. Man City have won it. What is the point anymore?
You
I don't
took
know,
a
dude.
-8. What did you do?
Huh?
I had to kick out Jesus. The stupid Mares didn't start, so I kicked him out too. And then I I have done the cardinal sin, my friends. I have sacrificed the player I was not meant to sacrifice to accommodate Kulusevski. Um, who do I have, dude? Kulusevski, Haaland, and one other player. I forget who it is. I don't know. It'll come back to me later. Um, but yeah, that is what I've already taken a -8. I'm like, screw it. People have hit. I was discussing this with Tushar before you dropped and said 100,000 managers have already thrown Jesus out of their squads. Kane has dropped in price. He's down to 11.4. Haaland has already risen in price to 11.6. It's and they have, because he has Bournemouth next. Next game, Myers will score a brace. Bro, Cosmo, if that happens, I will stab you, dude. I will find you. I mean, I say this playfully. I will catch you and I will shake you vigorously. Maybe that's something that will happen. I would, if Mares is this season's Jared Bowen, I am going to go jump someplace. I cannot handle it.
Yeah.
Sid, what are your thoughts on Haaland, my friend?
Honestly, I didn't watch the game, but I this morning when I woke up and I mean, I just opened the app and I saw Haaland score too. I'm like, wow, here it goes. I mean, this
Yeah.
is going to be like you remember the season where like Pep wrapped up the league in April?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is exactly what's going to happen.
He's going to wrap it up by the time everyone goes to the World Cup. He's like, I don't have time for your bullshit. International football. The season is going to be over by December.
Bro,
Uh,
I think somebody also said it in the comment. KDB x Haaland is even though it's mentioned that KDB x Haaland is going to like walk over this league. If those two remain fit by December, they'll probably be 10 points ahead, honestly.
Yeah, dude.
uh,
Like it'll be KDB 24 assists or some stupid thing like that.
He's
But
breaking Fabregas's record.
yeah, easy,
Definitely, no
easy.
oh,
doubt about it.
dude,
I'm just
and the
glad
way,
that there's a World Cup this season because I mean, I know it's the first game, but it already feels like unless Liverpool get their shit together quickly, and this is not even the well-oiled Man City. Like Man City generally by October, December, November, December, that's when they start peaking. Like, and this is not even them with their full chemistry, and they're so good. Like, what will anybody do? Like, there's nobody who's even close.
yeah, I have no clue. And also, just share us in the chat. We look at your FPL team on the FPL show, my friend. We'll do it. We'll do a deadline stream before the game week deadline, and we'll on Saturday, and send it to us by then, and we'll surely take a look at it. Um, oh, look, it's Akshay is not available today, but he's in the chat because little did I know that he was flying out somewhere. So if you wondering where he is, there he is. Okay,
I
guys,
think
I
we need
think
to
it's
speak about the two shit shows, the two clubs, the two shit shows that are world football at
who
this
was the
moment in
second?
time. United and Barcelona.
Oh yeah, okay. No, I was just
Hey,
about to talk
Barcelona
about.
won some cup against Pumas, dude, who are surprisingly sponsored by. Hey, no. Sorry, was that Barcelona? Yeah, that's Barcelona. Like, one against
Yeah.
Pumas, who are sponsored by Nike, which is damn dumb by Puma, in my opinion.
Yeah, Puma, come on, dude. That's like one-on-one
Get
marketing
your
right there.
shit
What's
together, yeah.
no? I
Dude,
was
that is a
since
stupid trophy that they only invented, dude. They always play against some South American club and they won 6-0. Okay. And you know
no,
who all
yeah.
scored? Frankie de
Who?
Jong,
Uh-huh.
uh,
Oh God, huh?
Lewandowski, Dembélé, basically every striker, Aubameyang, every striker they have scored one goal. It's like,
Wow. Uh, I don't. I mean, I will get to Barcelona, but I'll quickly, as Sid was talking about this earlier about season enders. United season ended yesterday, first game week of the season. Uh, so I'm going to like talk about my personal experience with this game. So it is. I was happy for a few months. I wasn't say happy. I mean, it has been a bit of a troublesome few months. But I was like, okay, I don't have to worry about United. And then as they were performing in preseason, I was filled with renewed optimism. I was like, wow, okay, these guys have beaten Liverpool 4-0. They seem to be playing some fantastic football. Jadon Sancho seems to be a different player. Marcus Rashford has had a preseason. Scott McTominay looks like he can pass the ball. All of these exciting things. Anthony Martial is scoring goals. Um, and I was optimistic that we have a manager that comes in and he's backed with the players he wants. United were linked with Frankie De Jong, which was a great um, person to be linked with. Unfortunately, from the very start, they've been telling him that uh, he's been his weight situation with Barcelona has been well documented. It has been 13 weeks since United have been was said to have a 95% agreement on the De Jong deal. 13 weeks, mind you. And we started the season after 13 weeks. Forget 13 weeks. I'm sorry. I need to take this back a little bit. By December of last year, it was extremely apparent to all that this team was not functioning because the midfield pivot could not defend and the backline could not defend. So they've addressed the backline by signing in Lisandro Martinez, who, in my opinion, had a bit of a tough game yesterday. Like he was getting run around by Danny Welbeck of all people, and yeah, like he was ultimately the best of a bad bunch in that team. It's been 7 to 8 months, and United kickstart the season without a striker, with their star player who clearly wants to leave, that no club wants to buy, and with Fred and McTominay in midfield. And 10 seconds in, David Dallo dallies on the ball, and United concede a corner. I have never felt my optimism drain so quickly. And as the match progressed, I got progressively more angry. And when the two goals went in, and I think I was talking to Tushar at the time, so I was getting pissed off because these guys were like Brighton were bossing United at Old Trafford. I'm just not even a joke. They have Caicedo, Moish. I'm so really sorry, I don't know how to pronounce his first name. Caicedo, who United were offered for 4 million a season or two ago, and they rejected him. And he ran rings around McFred yesterday. Pascal Gross has scored two. David De Gea is afraid to save the ball with his hands. That first goal, if he dives head first, the coward, he can and he prevents a goal. Bruno needs to learn to keep his shot down. We're playing a man with a pacemaker as a box to box midfielder and as a false nine for some reason. And the sheer ineptitude of that performance yesterday, I was so angry. I did not think I'd wake up this morning and still be that angry. But lo and behold, they've somehow managed to make things worse because we are, as soon as that match kicked off, Laurie Whitwell from The Athletic reports that United are interested in signing well-known racist Marco Arnautovic for 8 million from Bologna of all places. And I was like, I didn't even know Arnautovic was in Italy. I thought he was still in the Chinese Super League, that he
I
had
thought he's
disappeared
in
off to.
China still.
Exactly. Like we
Oh.
all thought the same thing. And I was like, okay, 33-year-old Marco Arnautovic is the answer to our problems. Benjamin Šeško has gone to RB Leipzig today from RB Salzburg till 2023. In 2023 he goes, I think. That's the deal. So that's dead in the water, evidently. And then the day progresses, and I like check my phone around 6 p.m. Indian time, and I see United have agreed a fee for Adrian Rabiot. Now, next season, Adrian Rabiot walks for free. Juventus are trying to terminate his contract, like right now, in order to free up more cash. And United have walked in and are paying him 15 million or 18 million euros or something it is.
Dude, this is like you
Adrian,
guys sold a Pogba to buy another Pogba, dude.
Pogba went for free both times. We bought him back. One of those times he went for free again the second time, and now we're paying Juventus another 18 million to get another midfielder from them, who's not as
Yeah,
good
and
as Pogba.
yeah, that's what he's as good as same problems as Pogba, same.
And his agent is Veronique, his mother, is another situation to deal with. And you don't want. Do
Another
you mean
payment.
to tell me? Do you mean to tell me that after 7 months or rather an entire season of watching that shit show unfold, like I have never mentally checked out of a United performance. I've always been emotionally invested. Last season was when I fully checked out. And I think that's how I should be, even currently. Because yesterday, I let myself believe that we'll be better. And what happened within 30 fucking minutes, these morons were 2-0 down. I apologize for swearing. I'm sorry. But they were 2-0 down. McTominay gets the ball in midfield, which somehow ends in a VAR check for a red card on him. Like he could have passed that ball to the left, to the right. I saw Frankie de Jong make a pass in that Pumas Cup from the outside of his foot into the channels, and I was like, that's where he should be. That he should be in United number 6 position. Instead, we have Scott McTominay almost trying to kill players, not tripping over his own players. Diego Dallo completely out of position. Luke Shaw does not want to track a runner at all. Harry Maguire is perpetually playing people onside every single time. I am so sick of watching him play people onside. I cannot be bothered anymore with this dude's crap. Poor Lisandro Martinez has had what is the term? Oh my god, I can't even think anymore. Lisandro Martinez is basically having a trial by fire situation for in his first game at Old Trafford, which is supposed to be this joyous return, a new era, a new dawn under Eric Ten Hag. This manager is set up to fail. If you're telling me after everything that happened last year, if you're telling me after having watched Liverpool walk across you at home and score 5 goals, Man City humiliate you at home after scoring 2 goals, Brighton humiliate you at the Amex Stadium at 4-0, and you'd say the answer to that is Adrian Rabiot on 18 million and Marco Arnautovic on an 8 million transfer. That's the best you can come up with. Frankie de Jong is like everyone and everyone's dog knows Frankie de Jong doesn't want to come to United. Why would he? For what reason? At what stage in any sensible footballer's career do you look at United and think that's a project I want to be a part of? That's a project that is heading in the right direction. The only thing right about that club at this point is the manager. The Ronaldo circus, I don't want to deal with. I cannot be bothered with it anymore. If he wants to go, bro, terminate your contract, take a lesser wage. You have made enough money to last you 8 lifetimes. You do not need more. You have businesses, you have hotels, you have goddamn museums for all you care. Take it down to 150,000, go play for a Champions League club and get your goddamn record. Everyone is you staying here, and with the TV companies cutting to you every 5 minutes the moment, like every time these morons lose the ball in midfield, it's it's pointless, it's unneeded, it undermines the manager's position. Marcus Rashford, dude, if you cannot fucking finish a ball, a goal from what 6 to 10 yards out, leave. My patience has ended here. He cannot play possession based football. He's a counter attacking dude. It is becoming increasingly evident that he is not, that it's a square peg round hole situation that's unfolding at the club. And if he doesn't fix his form by the time the World Cup kicks off, United should look to get him off the books, because it's not working. He looks short on confidence. I don't think it's ever coming back. It's not working. Bruno also needs to fucking tidy up. He's kind of been in his own zone for the last season. He needs to be more careful with his possession. He needs to fucking keep the ball under the bar. For that pass in the second half, not even a pass, it's McTominay screwing up, somehow ends up at his feet and he skies it over the bar. Dude, you're supposed to be one of the best players in that team. Like, what the hell are you doing? Like, this, it's, as much as I want to shit on the team, this is still like out of those 11 players were still at the club last season. David De Gea, dude, I'm over the De Gea experiment. That man cannot distribute for peanuts, and he's scared. Let's call it what it is. He's scared. It's cowardly. Like that first goal, I look back at it now and I think to myself, why are you extending your feet? Jump on the ball, you fool. Take a hit. It's fine. As for the board, and I had a discussion with a few friends earlier on in the day. You know a lost cause when you see one. The Frankie de Jong situation is a lost cause. It's not your fault that he's stuck where he is. Barcelona are criminally playing him like a fiddle. Like what they're suggesting now is that they've seen some criminality in his contract and they're about to sue him and take him to court for a contract he signed with the previous board for no fault of his own. And Barcelona believe they can get away with it. He doesn't want to come to United. It is evident. He either wants to stay in Barcelona, get his money and bounce, or he's going to Chelsea and London. And if any, and I've never been to Manchester, but I assume if you were offered the choice to live between Manchester and London, you'd probably prefer London because it is London. And I don't see where this club goes. I genuinely feel like this manager is set up to fail. They play Brentford this weekend. If they play like that, they're going to lose. They play Liverpool the week after that. And if they play like that, they're going to lose again. And that's when Eric Ten Hag is... I've been meaning to say this for a while, but he might suffer from the Frank de Boer situation, where he's a great tactical manager, but the Premier League just requires more than tactics. And I feel if he doesn't understand that and doesn't set up accordingly, there's a long road for the rest of us this season. I'm genuinely worried that the board's incompetence is going to get him fired. And when that happens, United have nowhere to go. There is no one who will be able to fix it unless you strip the club from the top down. TeamViewer, who are United's shirt sponsors, have had their stock price has dropped 40%. They're terminating their contract in 2026. United's stock price is also falling. Nobody wants... it's very evident the club has no money this time around. Misplaced buys, Joel Glazer deciding to sit in on meetings and waiting and delaying and prolonging transfer sagas. United was so confident they had Darwin Núñez at the start of the window. They delayed, Liverpool pounced, off he went. I'm surprised a club or a brand that's as big as that is run by as incompetent, by a set of incompetent fools that are. It boggles the mind. Like it genuinely boggles the mind as to how bad United are. My rant is over. I'm sorry.
That's fine. No, I also agree. Like, I also felt like nothing changed from last season. That you guys were complaining about Fred McTominay, but you still have Fred McTominay. Like, it makes no sense, right? You should have fixed that.
Can I just add? Can I just add this? Can I just add that this was a Brighton team that had just sold Cucurella,
Oh, I
Bissouma,
didn't even
and
mention that. I'm sorry. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah. They don't even have
Mortgage
their
and
best
Stark.
team. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
When
such a
Danny
shame.
Welbeck is ragdolling your centre backs. Danny Welbeck
I think
is
yeah. You guys
ragdolling your
Gary
sold
centre
him
Neville.
backs.
8 years
I
back.
think I think I, I
Yeah.
think Gary Neville tweeted. I think he summed up the tweet. The best United player yesterday on the pitch was Danny Welbeck
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, dude. 100%.
Danny
or
Welbeck
Lewis
was.
Dunk. Lewis Dunk was
But
a United
at
Academy
this
player, wasn't
rate,
he?
Hmm.
your manager will go before Ronaldo, and that's only because Ronaldo has to stay.
You know what? That's not even a lie. That's not even a joke. That's not even banter. That's very close to
Dude,
being
you
reality.
know what? That's legit. Yeah, it's very close to being true. And I said this. If I don't know on one of our pods, I don't know, maybe like a year ago, I said that I don't think ETH is the answer because traditionally Dutch managers have failed miserably in the Premier League. Name one Dutch manager who's been successful.
Nobody. Who?
Exactly.
Frank de Boer is considered more. Marino called him the worst Premier League manager of all time.
Of all
Yeah,
time.
Yeah.
See, Gus Hiddink is Chelsea's.
he's a
I
go-to
don't know
man.
what the
For
term.
Yeah.
like,
Great
He's
fixer
the
he is.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah he's the fixer. Louis van
Martin
Gaal
Yol.
suffered. Huh?
Martin Yol.
Martin Yol was okay, decent, and then you
Hmm.
have the what's his name, dude? Oh man, he was in Everton and then he went to Real Madrid and
Ronald Koeman.
dude, the
Ronald
thing
Koeman.
is, you guys can't even blame the players anymore, dude. Like that
No,
that is
the
No,
their
it's
that is their massive potential. That's their maximum potential. That's it.
listen, Dodge. Let's face it. There's Jimmy Garner in the academy. At least
Mm.
give him a shout. Like if you have to watch a shit show, we'd rather watch a shit show with some new
with the
players. Like
kids. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
if
I mean,
if I had to
there's
watch a
no
shit show
Pogba
every week,
Lingard this season.
I'd rather watch.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd rather watch Garner. I'd rather watch Garner. I'd rather watch Elanga. I'd rather watch. Um, I don't know. What's his name? Pelestri. I'd rather watch these people than watch McFred because really I'm
Okay. Sid's data problems are back. Um,
yeah, but the thing is, you can't blame Ronaldo. Didn't really make the team better or worse when he was on it or off it.
no, I
It's
think
not.
see the thing with Ronaldo, right? Definitely, it became more about trying to play to, um, you know, play to his strengths. Ahmad Diallo says Cosmo Kramer in the chat. Ahmad Diallo, I clearly not good enough. Like it's very evident that he's not good enough.
and
And
one more point that I want to mention when you were doing the rant, Ben, like when you spoke about
hmm,
Rashford, I think something has to change at the academy level because anyone who progresses up from the academy level, they're all they're all positioned to play counter-attacking football. None of them seem to know how to play possession-based football. Like you go back,
yeah,
you
none
start
of
with
them.
Danny Welbeck,
Hmm,
Lingard, Rashford. Who else can I think of who've come up the ranks? They're all
Elanga,
pacey. Elanga. They're
Anthony
all pacey
Elanga.
wingers who
That is true,
who
though. That
can't
is true.
who
I never noticed that, but that's very true.
It's a
like
very
when you
very
when you were
valid
making
point.
that point, I actually went. I was like, they're all pacey wingers or pacey strikers. I think something has to change at an academy. Like, look at Phil Foden. Oh my God, that man can turn
On a
on a
dime.
on a dime. Yeah,
And then no, Scholesy puts Scholes. Gary Neville tweeted Scholesy losing it on Instagram. He says, "Play on the half turn for fuck's sake. None of you morons. You keep facing the ball, keep facing the wrong way, and and hoping that you're going to progress the ball up the pitch. Get your best players in. Play on the half turn. Basic shit." And even the academy, like who is coming? Jimmy Garner is possibly the best thing to have come out. Ethan Laird is also another, and Ethan
Ethan Laird. Yeah,
Laird needs to go on loan because either he's going to go on loan or he's going to be the right back because Aaron Wan-Bissaka is gone. That man is like, they called him the possession black hole because that's where the ball goes to die. And you literally, like, if you look at if
bro. I don't
you
know. I genuinely don't know how he became a footballer. I mean, apart from
no,
his
because
last minute
he's he's
tackles.
good. He's good in a team that sits back, because in a team that sits back, he doesn't have to like play up the pitch, right? He doesn't have to start attacks. At Palace, he was so good because he would clean up, then take the ball and progress up the pitch, and then just like it was pure counter attacking. And even in his first season as a counter attacking unit, he was good. But the moment we switched styles to possession based football, it just went. It completely went. Yeah, and Wan-Bissaka is one thing. Cosmo in the chat brings up Luke Shaw. This man needs to get out. Like it,
Yeah, I
it has
also was like,
taken.
what are they doing? Yeah.
It has taken him. I'm so sick of Luke Shaw losing his man at the back post every single time. This moron just can't look over his shoulder, and it's the same goal you end up conceding over and over again. Just how many more times do you need to concede the same goal before you get into your thick fucking skull to look behind and see where the player is? It's he's had 9 months, 9 good months in 8 years. Like, get it over with. He doesn't have the motor to go up and down the pitch. United are terrible in transition when it comes to losing the ball. Mourinho was right, Cosmo in the chat. Like, Mourinho was right about Shaw. I think
He was right
Ole
about the whole.
managed him.
Bro, Mourinho has been he's been right about a lot of things.
Yeah, he's been
He's been right about a lot of things. Now that you look
yeah,
back
he's
at it,
been right.
he's been right about most
I was
things.
explaining to somebody the other day. Mourinho finished 18 points in second place behind Man City, and the next season they gave him Fred and Dallo. Fred and Dallo. See, I don't blame Fred for a lot of this. That man is a number 8. He's a number 8. He's a box to box. He's not a number 6. He needs that number 6. He needs that person sitting next to him dictating play, and that
Honestly,
person.
when I watched Matic and Fred for the few games that they played together, Fred was actually half decent.
He was, and Fred was our best player last season. Like, I mean, if you think about it, you
He
actually think
genuinely
about it.
was. He genuinely
Yeah.
was.
Like,
Yeah,
Ronaldo
I
would
mean, for
score
all
in
I
the shit
also
people.
gives it his all, dude. Like, he's every game, he's like all heart, like all in, right? But
Yeah,
Dude,
he has
like,
his
you know what?
limitations.
Like, yeah, he's got a very low ceiling. Let's. He's not a Fernandinho. He's not a Rodri. He has
Not a
a
world
very very
class
low
world
ceiling.
beater. Yeah,
No,
it's nothing.
but
Yeah.
but the surprising thing is he starts for Brazil, man. He starts for
yeah, it does,
Brazil.
because he's good. Like, the thing is, you need the person around Fred to make sure he's good. Because when Fred is good, he's really good. He has the occasional brain fart where he'll go and like commit a tackle and give away a penalty for no stupid reasons. But when he is good, when he's in the flow, he's actually really good. He'll thunder twat it every couple of times in a game. That's, you understand that, it's just how he is. But for the system, forget Fred. How is United's main target striker this season Anthony Martial, dude? I don't get it. I don't understand how, after having gone full circle, Anthony Martial is your starting striker, who is good on his day, but once again extremely inconsistent, and last year deemed to not want to be at the club. It's and his injury forces you to play Bruno and Christian Eriksen in a false nine. If you saw the first 10 minutes, Brighton were trying to figure out what was happening, and then they realized what was happening and said, "Okay, fine, this is what they're doing. This is what we're going to do." And within seconds, they got that game by the scruff of its neck.
It's good thing I
I
watched that game.
Yeah, dude, trust me. Like I have said some things to my television which I'm not very proud of. Like this is me after a full day of being calm. Not calm. I'm still very pissed off. But this is a full day after, and I'm still ranting. So you can imagine, like especially Rashford, that chance in the second half to make it 2-1. Dude, I don't know if it's your confidence that you can't side foot the keep. It's a great save. The save is good, but you are in power there. You want to be United starting left winger. You need to put those chances away. Like Ronaldo came on and instantly, and I was just looking at the pitch thing and going, "Oh no, this is going to give the toxic Ronaldo cult more more wood to throw into the fire." And we looked better. I mean, we did end up looking better. Until then, we didn't have a clue of what was happening. And if he's going to stay, because honestly, it's more about him not having a chance at this point. Really, I don't think any club wants to deal with this crap. Make the best of a situation, but you need more than just Ronaldo and Martial up front if you want to mount a top four challenge. Sixth is the best United can do at this point. I am not even going to like Newcastle have a better midfield than United. Let's actually run through it. Which team has a better midfield than United at the moment? Man City for sure, Liverpool for sure, Spurs for sure, and they don't even have a creative attacking midfielder, but they have a better midfield than us. Chelsea have Jorginho, Kante, Mount in there, infinitely better than what we have. Leicester have Yuri Tielemans and Wilfred Ndidi, infinitely better than what we have. Newcastle have Bruno Guimaraes, and I think they have
Wolves have a better midfield.
Wolves have a better midfield than us. Have Moutinho and Neves.
I mean, looking at midfield is
Neves.
one thing, but I feel like this season, uh, if I were to like block it off, it's either Liverpool and Man City fighting it out there. Then it's Chelsea, Arsenal, Spurs fighting it out there, and then it's United fighting with the Leicester and the Wolves and the West Hams, and they're going to be duking it out there. In my opinion, yeah. I know.
Yeah, I think in all likelihood that's what's going to happen, though. I mean, let's give Liverpool another 2-3 games before we take a call on whether they're going to be title challengers or not. Because I still believe in my heart of hearts, Mane was their linchpin. Whatever anybody says.
If you ask me, I think Salah is way on the decline. Like I looked at him in that game. I looked at him again in the Community Shield. I looked at him in preseason.
There's a lot of load on him, dude. Like it's just that those other guys have to start coming good.
No, I feel since the AFCON has been a very different player. Like since the he was Ballon d'Or worthy. Yeah, he was Ballon d'Or worthy up till December. Then he went to the AFCON and then he came back a pale shadow of himself, and he still hasn't recovered. Like even the Liverpool game,
I think it's very similar to what happened to Saka, Rashford, and Sancho.
I wouldn't even call it that. I would actually call it something very similar to what happened to Alexis Sanchez, because Alexis Sanchez was great and suddenly he wasn't.
He fell off the
it just happened. Yeah, it just suddenly.
Maybe if that World Cup break will give him some time, maybe. Let's see.
Maybe we don't know, right? And Salah can still prove me wrong. I have him as my Golden Boot winner. You cannot fault quality, right? But like there's something concerning about Salah in that position. Darwin Núñez is going to score a lot of goals. They have once Jota comes back, they're going to have another what do you call, another facet to their attack. And They also have Luis Diaz, was probably the best um, outfield player in the Fulham game. So this is very much a transition season for Liverpool, and if I have them as title winners, if I'm being completely honest, I know Mane is gone, but I feel the sting of losing it so badly last year would have propelled them further. But that's before I saw Haaland, and I looked at the De Bruyne Haaland combination and thought, oh dear God, here we go. So it really depends on who can keep their squad most fit. So as for United, I'm just
The thing is, City
buckle
again
up,
lack a
boys.
striker. I mean, City lack a second striker.
Julian Alvarez is there, no? And he's also killing it.
Dude, Pep can play most games without a striker.
They won the
He
league
can
without
still,
a striker.
yeah. He just needs a Haaland for a Champions League, dude. He can rest Haaland also for many games. Thus, Haaland will be scoring 6-0 against these bottom teams and all. Aram say, like, no issues. The thing about City used to be that if you played a low block, it was very hard for them to score because they didn't have a striker. If you opened up, they ran through you. Now, even if you
Yeah.
play a low block, Haaland's going to come at you. If you open up, they're still going to play through you. There's nothing you can do anymore. There's nothing you can do. That's it. It's over.
It's been fun, boys. But yeah, I think you very quickly want to touch upon Barcelona still before we end the stream.
Yeah, why not? I mean, they're inviting couples to get married in in the what do they call it now? The Spotify Stadium?
Spotify Camp now, that's called. Yeah.
Okay, the Spotify camp now. Yeah. So they're inviting couples to have weddings and receptions in the Spotify camp now.
I mean,
Boy, what a
they've been
shit.
doing for a while. Actually, they've actually been doing that for 3-4 months now.
The question is, can those couples register their marriage?
Fair enough.
So this is
No, now they're very dangerous about them not being able to register their players, and they have to activate the fourth lever, something and all. Like,
so this
Bro,
is what
I
has
hear
happened.
some
Yeah,
complicated shit. Like, yeah.
yeah. I'm going to like try and read this out, and Sid is probably more. I mean, he's the closest finance guy we have, so he's going to try and explain it to us like 5-year-old children. So this is what Cope, a Spanish outlet, are saying. Barcelona didn't directly sell their TV rights to Six Streets, which is a company. What they ended up doing was a third company was set up as a joint investment by Barcelona and Six Streets. Six Streets invested 517 million euros, while Barcelona invested 150 million. And the new company used the 667 million investment to buy 25% of La Liga TV rights for the next 25 years. The earnings received by this company will go to Six Streets alone. While Barcelona received only 517 million for selling their TV rights, they declared 667 million as the income received from the deal, which includes the 150 million that they themselves put in. So what about the 150 million which they had to spend? They amortized it over 25 years for a duration of the investment period, and thus the books showed only a spend of 6 million, generating an extra 144 million on top of the actual 517 million euros that they received. The money, of course, didn't exist. It was merely accounting tricks. Such tricks may or may not be legal, but La Liga nevertheless had its own rules and regulations and refused to consider this as a proper income for the salary limit calculations. This is why they still can't register their new signings. The cherry on top is that this will be classified as capital gains, which means they would have to pay capital gains tax, which is around 23% in Spain. So Barcelona would end up paying around 34.5 million euros extra to the government for trying and failing to do an accounting trick, which they didn't even bother checking whether La Liga would allow or not. And I don't think Laporta got the permission or even informed the socios about this investment from the club's part either.
Wow. Okay, I mean, oh my God, bro. Like, so basically, they try to create
creative
some sort of
accounting.
bro,
Yeah.
they try to, I mean, It's very simple. They try to create money out of thin air,
Yeah.
and and they got fucked from both sides. Sorry for the
So,
curse word, but I mean, it's a proper case of shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
ah,
So there's
It,
the latest update on them is that once La Liga ratifies that Barca still cannot register all the signings, the club plans to activate the fourth lever, but they will still be 13 million short after that. The salary reduction of PK and perhaps also Busquets would help to solve the problem, and Barca is suggesting them to do so.
bro, the thing is, all of their problems will be solved with even. I mean, PK and Busquets don't have to reduce the salary if they are able to offload Frankie De Jong. That's why they're so hell bent on offloading him. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
he is, he is literally the dam in that flowing river.
But how, dude? It's
He,
one player for like how many? Like,
yeah, it's one player, but his contract, the loyalty bonus, all of those things are attached to to this
the
season.
FFP.
Bro,
Okay.
they just need to get through the season.
Uh,
That's the thing. They just need to sign the players, get through the season, hopefully win the La Liga this season, and then there'll be at least some semblance of a Barcelona in 3 years time. Otherwise, if they're not able to get through with the season, Barcelona might not exist by the time all of us
I,
turn 40.
yeah, I have a very strong feeling they're heading down that path. Like this is a gamble and a half, and also like I would be very I wouldn't be surprised at all that they
I mean,
escape.
have you heard of don't put all your eggs in one basket? Barcelona literally put all of their dairy in one basket, like the eggs, the cow, I mean, the milk, the
No, the
cheese,
cow is in the basket. The cow and the chickens
everything.
are chilling in the basket.
Everything's in the basket at this point in time. I mean, they haven't just sold their soul to the devil. They've literally like, what's that term that what is that thing that Voldy does in Harry Potter? Like
The Horcrux, he's splitting their
the
souls.
Horcruxes. Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
much what they've done.
Oh, dude, this is criminal. I'm
It's
surprised people.
it's yeah, shambolic. I mean, how did who was the guy before this?
Bartomeu.
Bartomeu. How did they let him do this, dude?
No, I think
uh,
this is Laporta. This is like what happened right now is Laporta.
Dude, they're still trying to buy
Not
Alonso. Like finalizing the deal in like 3 days. I'm just like, what the hell, dude? Where is? They keep calling these guys broke Salona, and those guys are going on buying players. And there's like nothing in
the
football
best part
makes
is
sense.
it's like all of your credit cards are maxed out, but you're still going and buying stuff.
Yeah, dude. What is this? Like,
It's like they're
this
what
is
do you call
that
it? It's this.
that movie Confessions of a Shopaholic, but it's Laporta.
I mean, Cosmo Kramer said it right. Like Bayern
Yeah, they
openly said
openly.
Barca won't exist after 4 years. Like, I'd be surprised if they did. Like, they put all their money. They've just bet everything on this season to hope to win the La Liga and maybe the Champions League. Who knows?
I don't know, my friends. I genuinely do not know anymore.
Hey, a quick question on Barca's team. So now that Lewandowski is striker, where does Aubameyang fit in all of this?
Um,
Left
They
they're
side
trying to
actually
send him to
want
Chelsea.
not just Chelsea. They're trying to sell Aubameyang. Yeah.
They're trying to
Oh
send him to
yeah, they
Chelsea. Like,
asked for Liva's money in full payment, like, and they got it also, dude.
uh, they got Leva's money in full payment.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
Laporta
yeah.
shit talked them on the stage. He's like, "Guys, shut up! I gave you a full payment in cash." Blah 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 blah. Like,
They were very clear, bro. We want money up front, otherwise, we are not selling you the player.
How much did they sell him for?
60, 56
It
mil,
was me.
60 million, something like that.
Yeah, 60 million.
Yeah.
They told you want exist, we will give you 60 million. exist in 4 years, what you're going to pay as money.
I don't even know. I just it's kind of insane how well Barcelona are doing, and I feel by the next week, next time we like jump on this pod, there's going to be even more uh, chaos unfolding. This saga is not over, not by any
Yeah,
stretch. I'd be
actually, by end of this month, they have to register, right? August 30th, they
yeah.
have to
Yeah.
register players. Otherwise,
No,
yeah,
it's
they can't
over.
play.
I mean,
Huh?
August.
they know about it. I think by the end of the month, they have to like have the and if it doesn't happen, they just employees on Barcelona's payroll. I don't even know. Payroll is like is putting
Yeah,
it
dude. Like
mildly.
they've been saying Barcelona activated first lever, then we'll be fine. Second lever, we'll be fine. Third lever. Now they're
Fourth
on the
lever.
fourth lever, dude. Where is this fourth lever in some other dimension or some interdimension? What are they doing? There's not. Yeah, I don't know.
Bro, they basically sold their club's complete future
Future
for like
earnings,
what?
right? Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
future earnings.
yeah.
It's mad.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think that is that's as grim a topic to like leave this episode on. This rather rant heavy, extremely annoying, annoyance filled episode.
I think I,
There's a
I think
dude.
I think we can end with a funny note that Cosmos said that
They want
Yeah,
to activate levers,
yeah.
not levers.
Cosmo said they want to activate levers, not levers. They're in the wrong
Wingardium
country.
Leviosa, Leviosa, or
They're in the wrong countries, is what I would say. I mean, if they want to activate levers, they need to head to to England. That's where the true levers are.
or I said like last ditch, then Laporta starts his OnlyFans to show his levers. Then that yeah,
Why,
that's
dude? Why? I don't. Nobody wants to see that. Have you seen Laporta? Please, no. No, we need to go to sleep after this. Why are you doing this to us?
yeah. I mean, it's a great thought to sign off on.
Oh, yeah, it's a great thought to sign off on. Okay, we're all going to take off. Akshay is on taking off on a flight. Everyone wish him a safe flight. This episode will be live on audio within the next hour. If you want to hear my rant on United, I just realized you guys didn't stop me for like 8.5 minutes. I just went.
Was
It'll
that
be
eight?
available.
Like 16 and a half.
Wow, really? Stop me from like ranting if you feel like I'm ranting.
Yeah, it was a good rant, dude.
honestly, like that was a good rant here.
Oh God in heaven, I hate this club. Anyway, that's us. We'll see you. I think on Thursday for the preview. That'll be much quicker. And yeah, until then, stay safe and try and be happy. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Good night. Cheers.